trying to do their best, and knowing that these people that are suggesting maybe important and good public health measures aren't following them on their own.
Okay. No.
Dana,
here
people
we
hate
have
few things in the world,
Trey
like
Gowdy.
they do hypocrisy and duplicity. And when you are told if Republicans meet, it is reckless homicide, but when Democrats meet, it is all about healing and hope. When you watch looters steal Christmas presents, but you're told you can't exchange Christmas presents with your own family. You can celebrate Joe Biden winning, but God knows you can't celebrate Thanksgiving with your family. I would just tell my fellow citizens, look, ignore the leaders. There is a vaccine on the horizon. Do what you can to help your fellow citizens, not because the mayor of Chicago told you to or Gavin Newsom. Do what you can to help your fellow citizens, because I think the light is coming.
I think that's a really good point, that you have to, you learn as a dad, right? You have
Got
to
that
lead by
recorded?
example.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, lots of things. Look, it infuriates me when I see the duplicity. There's no criticism, but this group gathers, and there is. It infuriates me.
Okay. It infuriates Trey Gowdy when somebody says one thing and does something else. Now, I recall, and he's talking about, of course, you've listened to him, the Democrats from the governor of California and the mayor of Chicago are attending events and getting lots of people together in close proximity and talking about mandatory masks and things like that. But they were wearing masks in those events. They were not face on. And this same guy watched and knew about and said nothing when the president introduced Comey Barrett, the new Supreme Court justice, in the garden of the White House. And what did he do? He got the virus himself and spread it among 15 other people at that event, all because the mask doesn't matter. But he's criticizing a Democrat who's saying the mask's mandatory because they meet in close proximity with masks on. They're somehow worse than somebody who gets the virus, spreads it to his own family, that's the president. The vice president spreads it to all his workers in the White House, as does the president. Total silence from Trey Gowdy at that point. Let's see what else he has to say. This is Newsmax. This is called Serious Interview of Trey Gowdy.
And then when I hear the mayor of Chicago lecturing anybody about anything, I mean, yes, but I'm not wearing a mask and I'm not doing things to help Lori Lightfoot or Gavin Newsom. I am doing it to help someone in South Carolina that I might bump into. And with this good news, Dana, that a vaccine is on the horizon, we've just got to take care of each other for maybe another 6 months. And then we don't have to care what Gavin Newsom or Lori Lightfoot or Gretchen Whitmer or anybody else thinks.
Are you looking forward to figuring out a way to have your holiday in some sort of unique way?
Well, my mom carries much more influence with me than anyone else in the world, and I like the governor in South Carolina, but I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of my mom, and she's telling me where I'm going to be Thursday, and I'm going to be there until the Cowboys kick off.
Who do you support? What's your NFL team?
I pull for the same team God pulls for, the Dallas Cowboys, and it's been a miserable 20-something years for us.
Well, here's to hoping it gets better. I mean, we've got vaccines on the horizon. Maybe things get better for the Cowboys as well. Trey Gowdy, thank you.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We just listened to, he didn't really say how he's going to protect for the next 6 months with the vaccine on the horizon. And if the vaccine comes in sooner, all the better. Right now, the vaccine by Pfizer requires below 80 degrees centigrade temperatures to keep it so they can provide it to people. Now, who are they going to provide it to? People in the Arctic? Are they going to provide it to people in Africa and in the Sahara Desert? Going to have a real problem doing that. Moderna now, they're not talking about much. Pfizer must have a financial interest in people, and that which vaccine they're going to use is going to matter. So his mother is the most important thing on Thanksgiving, and I think that's fucking lovely. I really think it's absolutely lovely. And he's the Dallas Cowboy fan. Of course, that means he's favoring a loser. Mr. Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, is tearing his hair out. What's left of it. He didn't have much to begin with over the Cowboys' play. They're barely surviving anything, but they're in the weakest division in the NFL. I do know a little bit about football. Nonetheless, without knowing too much about football, I also know about a phony. He never said he's not wearing a mask to protect his relatives, did he? Why didn't he say, I am protecting my family. I am concerned about them. And so that 6-month period, is he going to be a spreader or is he going to be a protector? And just criticize those who want to put on the mask and generally protect people and keep their distance, or just say they're hypocrites because they say that and they gather. I'm not a hypocrite when I say I just protect my family and I can show up how I choose with or without a mask. Now, he doesn't have to have a mask on right now. He's on television. It's probably entirely protected. And right now, I don't have a mask because we're doing this interview, and I trust you that you don't have the virus, production manager. So the point is, Trey Gowdy, who's one of them, actually, I halfway respect more of all the senators. He's a congressman. He should be a senator. He's smarter than the other, someone like Jim Jordan, far smarter. But nonetheless, the thing that people do when they know they're surrounded by people who are total hypocrites, fellow Republicans, and they know that, they talk about hypocrisy of others. And that's always comfortable to do that. So I'm not going to criticize Trey Gowdy too much, but he's on Fox News here, and the gal interviewing is trying her best to seem neutral. So let's move over to someone like Tucker Carlson and talk about what Fox is doing with him and what he's doing or not doing. He's one of the more artful hypocrites that I've ever seen. But Trey Gowdy isn't the worst, and what he said today, except for the fact that he didn't criticize his party, he criticized individuals in the Democratic Party as really bad people for being hypocrites. He never mentioned Donald Trump. He never mentioned Mike Pence. Arch hypocrites down the road. Oh, Proud Boys, come on. Oh, those terrible, terrible, just kill that. Terrible, terrible people. So this is a replay from Fox, which is actually quite a leg up from what we just watched on Newsmax. So I'm just showing a comparison between Newsmax and Fox. What's going to happen when Fox people start moving to Newsmax? And I guess they already have. So we're going to talk about that and talk about Fox and why more of these Fox people are going to move to Newsmax. Now, I don't think Perino will do that. I think she'll probably go to CNN, more than likely. But that's going to be interesting speculation down the road. And I believe that Trey Gowdy is going to join the, the Lincoln Project. He'll start joining with those Republicans because there's going to be a real division in the Republican Party. And so let's move to Fox News and see if we can find Tucker Carlson and see what he has to say.